This evening, 20 Linden families affected by a demolition project were compensated. A man wanted for the fatal stabbing of his estranged wife surrenders. 4 men admits to breaking into cars outside the Space Gym. In the region, Argentina hikes rate to 69.5% as inflation surged to a 30-year high. And internationally, viral infection kills thousands of cattle in India. Welcome to another broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. 20 families affected by a demolition exercise in Phase 4 Amelia's Ward Housing Scheme, Linden Region 10, in May 2022 have received monetary compensatory packages from the Ministry of Housing and Water. The affected families uplifted their checks from the Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowell, at Watuka House on Thursday, August 11th. During brief remarks, Minister Crowell thanked the affected persons for their patience exhibited throughout the process. He further stated that the ministry would continue to work to fulfill the housing demand in the Region 10 and outline several housing development plans for the region. Noting that squatting should not be an alternative for citizens, the housing minister called on persons to be more responsible and desist from squatting. He stated that the ministry's housing drive would continue to be extended to every region. In early May, the demolition exercise was conducted in Phase 4 Amelia's Ward, which has been earmarked for infrastructure development by the Ministry of Housing and Water. During the exercise, 2 habitable structures were demolished, while other structures, including fences and foundations, were also removed. The structures were in the path of an access road. Some of the affected persons have been offered house lots, while some other opted for housing units. Sharon Greaves, the Chief Executive Officer of the Central Housing and Planning Authority, met with those who had occupied the area illegally just after the demolition exercise and agreed to provide them with alternative housing options and land. The offers were accepted, and the Ministry of Finance's Valuation Office conducted a valuation exercise in June. 4 men were arrested after they admitted to breaking into cars and stealing the items outside the Space Gym. Esther Sobers has more details.
Quick action by investigators of the Ghana Police Force has led to the arrest of 4 men and recovery of several stolen items, some of which went missing outside the Space Gym on Mandela Avenue on Thursday, August 11th. According to the police report, the male parked their cars in front of the gym at about 7:50 p.m. Around 8 p.m., they went to check on their motor cars and observed the back right side glass of their vehicles broken. The doors on the cars were also unlocked, and over $650,000 in cash and valuables, including an HP Pro book, were reported missing. The police were immediately notified, and CCTV cameras at the buildings were reviewed. The camera captured 3 male perpetrators committing the act before leaving the scene in a red Pitbull minibus. The police subsequently intercepted the said minibus bearing registration number BAC 6563 at Leopold Street, driven by a 37-year-old male with a 22-year-old and a 29-year-old male as the occupants. A search was conducted and found $23,000 cash in one of the men's pants pockets, and $22,000 was found in another one of the men. The trio were arrested and questioned and admitted to breaking into the cars and stealing the items. The information provided by the men led the police to the property at Lot 1717 Durban Street, Wortmanville, where a search was conducted. The HP Pro book was recovered along with several cellular phones and other items. A 4th person, 39-year-old male of the said address, was arrested. The suspects were all placed in custody, and further investigations are in progress. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. A Berbice man who was on the run after reportedly stabbing his ex-wife to death surrendered to the police at the Central Police Station in New Amsterdam on Thursday, August 11. Commander of Region 6 Police District, Budnarain Prasad, has confirmed that Suraj Gangpat turned himself in the company of his father. Gangpat is wanted in connection with the fatal stabbing of his 24-year-old wife, Cindy Ramchurdar, at Currentine Berbice. According to a police report, Ramchandar was allegedly fatally stabbed by her husband Suraj Gangpat of Cumberland Village, West Kanchi Berbice on Monday, August 8. The two got married over a year ago and had recently separated. They were experiencing marital problems, and Ramchandar moved out and went to live with her aunt at number 47 Village Quarantine. A source said on the day of the incident, Gangpat confronted the woman in the village and the two were heard and seen arguing. While arguing, Gangpat was seen whipping out a knife and stabbing Ramchandar. He then entered a motorcar and fled from the scene. He remained in hiding until turning himself in on Thursday. Gangpat is presently in police custody as investigations continues. Stick around after the break. Truck driver who ran over a Venezuelan national while reversing granted bail, and Linton Davison acquitted of rape charges.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. 32-year-old Shambe Yamat of Sierra Johanna Village, East Bank Demerara, was placed on bail for the offense of causing death by dangerous driving when he appeared at the Diamond Magistrates Court on Wednesday, August 10, 2022. Yamat appeared before Magistrate Judy Latchman, where the charge of causing the death of 38-year-old Venezuelan national Francisco Samusa was read to him. He pleaded not guilty and was granted bail in the sum of $1 million. The court heard that on August 8, Samusa was standing on the eastern parapet of Sierra Johanna Public Road. A motor lorry driven by 32-year-old Yamat drove past Samusa. The truck stopped and reversed in a northern direction, where the left side of the tray collided with Samusa. The man subsequently fell, and the left rear wheel of the lorry ran over him. He was picked up and taken to the Diamond Diagnostic Center, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. A breathalyzer test was conducted on Yamat and revealed 0% alcohol in his system. He will return to court on Monday, August 29, 2022. A man accused of 6 counts of rape was acquitted. More from Esther Sobers.
35-year-old Linton Davison was acquitted of 6 counts of raping a juvenile who was placed in his care when he appeared at the Danwara Sexual Offences Court on Wednesday, August 10, 2022. Davison appeared before Justice Simone Morris Ramlal and denied the claim that between January 1, 2012 and January 3, 2013, he engaged in sexual penetration with an underage girl at Norton Street Lodge, Georgetown. The court heard that between 2012 and 2013, Davison engaged in a sexual activity with a child on several occasions who was under the age of 16 years old. The mother of the young child left her in the care of Davison. He and the underage teen are acquainted. It was alleged that Davison sexually assaulted her at that time. Later, the teen told her mother what happened, leading to the filing of a police report in 2020. Davison was detained and accused of the crime. Davison was first charged with the offense in 2020. He had been out of bail pending the hearing and determination of his trial. Davison was freed on Wednesday after a 12-person jury ruled him not guilty of the 6 charges of rape against the juvenile. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away after the break. Brazilians protest for democracy as Bolsonaro threatens elections, and viral infection kills thousands of cattle in India.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Argentina's monthly inflation for July was the highest in 20 years at 7.4%. High inflation is an almost constant problem in Argentina. Al Jazeera's Daniel Schimler reports.
The Luca Bakery in Luján, about an hour's drive west of Buenos Aires, was founded in 1875 by Marcos's great-great-grandfather Angelo, an immigrant from Lombardy in Italy. It's overcome several economic crises, and Marcos is confident it'll survive the one now unfolding.
Argentinians are perhaps very good at coping because we're used to living this way, and maybe because our grandparents have managed to survive every one of these crises they had to face.
But it's tough. He has to be alert to increases in the price of almost everything, especially flour and fuel. Plus the Argentine peso weakening against the US dollar while keeping his 30-plus staff and his customers happy. Bread is one of life's necessities, whatever the cost. It was in 1875 and continues to be at the heart of the battle to keep prices affordable and the community functioning. The bakery workers light these ovens at 4 a.m. 7 days a week. There have been many changes in the past 147 years, but some things remain constant. These scales, for instance, made in London even before Lucca was founded. And of course customers with an appetite, but less and less money to spend.
What we do now is consume less. We don't buy as much as we used to, so we keep costs down. Or we take advantage of the promotions.
Hyperinflation at more than 3,000% hit Argentina in 1989, then social and economic catastrophe in 2001.
Inflation is the result, it's the thermometer. It's like when you're sick and you have fever, you measure inflation in this case, but it's not the cause. The cause is the underlying monetary and fiscal policies which generate this inflation.
Both Argentina and the Lucca bakery are victims of crippling foreign debt and the war in Ukraine, which saw the price of flour rocket.
Bread is something that's been around for hundreds of years and will continue to be sold for several more centuries yet.
Because it must, and it's difficult to resist food this good, whatever the price. Daniel Schweimler, Al Jazeera, Lujan, Argentina.
Brazilians have demonstrated in several cities in defense of democracy. They're concerned President Jair Bolsonaro may not accept October's elections results. Al Jazeera's Monica Yannick reports.
The rallies united Brazilians from all ages and walks of life. Trade union leaders and left-wing politicians standing side by side with businessmen, bankers, and students.
We have created a great front if we want to defend Brazil's democracy from President Jair Bolsonaro's attacks.
This is a unique moment when businessmen and workers join efforts to defend democracy.
The main rally was at the University of São Paulo's law school, where a similar event was held 45 years ago against Brazil's military dictatorship. Crowds gathered inside the building and in the courtyard to listen to two manifestos, both defending Brazil's democratic institutions, less than 2 months before October's presidential elections.
Our democracy is facing immense danger. Our institutions are at risk from insinuations and contempt for the results of the elections.
The manifestos were drawn up after President Jair Bolsonaro stepped up his attacks on Brazil's Supreme Court and electronic voting system. In July, he told a group of foreign ambassadors that the elections could be easily rigged. Polls show Bolsonaro trailing behind former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. The movement in defense of Brazil's democracy grew over the past weeks, spreading to at least 20 state capitals, among them Rio de Janeiro. Crowds gathered at universities here in Rio and in other cities to listen to the manifestos being read. People here say they must show their unity on the streets to ensure that democracy and the rule of law prevail. Monica Yanakiev, Al Jazeera, Rio de Janeiro.
And internationally, cattle farmers, primarily in 2 states in India, are trying to curb an outbreak of lumpy skin disease, a viral infection that spreads through flies and dirty food and water. Al Jazeera's Pavni Mattel reports.
This shed is disinfected every few hours. At least a dozen cows are quarantined here, sick from a viral skin disease. This rehab center in the state of Rajasthan is home to nearly 1,700 animals. Many are infected. Authorities say they first spotted symptoms 2 months ago.
We get a lot of cows from the city. Some have been in accidents. Even those you see eating garbage on the streets are brought here. We check for symptoms when they arrive. Even those without symptoms are kept away from our herds for weeks.
Lumpy skin disease is spread mostly by flies and mosquitoes. Lumps like these start appearing on the skin. Animals become weak and get fever. It's spreading fast. Thousands of animals have died across India. Most of them are cows. Rajasthan state is the worst affected. The disease emerged in Zambia a century ago. In recent years, parts of Asia have reported cases. Here in India, it regularly infected sheep and goats. This is the first time that thousands of cattle have caught the disease. Lali Devi's family owns 15 cows. Like millions of others, their livelihood depends on cattle. She says she hasn't let them out in weeks.
If they fall sick, it will impact the milk. We can also fall sick and our incomes will also fall. On top of that, the treatment will cost us a lot of money.
Officials say they're testing animals regularly. The goatpox vaccine is being given across India. But some districts are reporting a shortage of medicines and doctors. Milk production has also reduced in some areas.
Farmers depend a lot on cattle. They use them in fields and for milk. Low milk production affects the economy and their incomes. We want the government to promise them free medicines. Vets are checking on the cattle and the treatment is free. Even here, the government is funding the treatment.
Rajasthan's government is asking for donations to help fund the treatment. Officials say they plan to vaccinate as many animals to prevent future outbreaks. Pavni Mittal, Al Jazeera, Jaipur in Western India.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2's Headline News Update. We will be back on Monday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other and do have a great weekend.